Don't blame your age for weak erections anymore. The real culprit might be what you're eating just 10 minutes after you wake up. There's a breakfast mistake that 9 out of 10 men over 60 make every single day, and it's slowly destroying blood flow to your pelvic area without you even realizing it. Most men have no idea that their breakfast choice is either supporting healthy circulation down there or gradually cutting it off. What's even more shocking is that many are missing out on including one simple food that could completely turn things around. I'm Dr. Claire, a men's health specialist, and over the past 30 years, I've not only identified this dangerous breakfast trap, but I've also discovered the exact way to avoid it. Here's what I want you to understand. Your body is desperately trying to restore circulation to your intimate areas, but it can only do that if you give it the right fuel. And that fuel isn't hiding in some expensive pill or prescription that the billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies want you to depend on. It's sitting right there in 5 specific everyday morning foods. These are foods you already know about, but you probably never knew how to use them properly to boost masculine circulation. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use these 5 foods. You'll discover how these simple ingredients can dramatically improve blood flow, strengthen the muscle tissue in your pelvic region, and restore your confidence naturally without any harmful side effects. Make sure you stay until the very end, because I'm going to reveal the most important key of all. And let me tell you right now, food number 3 is helping men see real results in less than a week. Before we jump in, if you genuinely want to reclaim your vitality and improve circulation where it counts most, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this video speaks to you, write the number 1 in the comments. If it doesn't resonate, write 0. I personally read every single response, and your feedback helps me create content that's better suited to what you actually need. Let's start with the first food. It's something you probably already have sitting in your refrigerator right now, but you may have completely overlooked it for years. It's simple, it's familiar, and when you eat it at exactly the right time, it can significantly boost blood flow and muscle repair in the area that matters most to you. I'm talking about whole eggs, which are nature's most complete nutritional powerhouse for restoring circulation after age 60. I've completely lost track of how many men over 60 have sat across from me feeling frustrated, embarrassed, and totally confused about why things down there just aren't working the same way anymore. And almost every single time I ask them about their eating habits, they just shrug their shoulders and say something like, "Dr. Claire, I only have coffee in the morning, maybe grab a piece of toast if I'm feeling hungry." What these men don't understand is that their body, especially at this stage of life, is absolutely starving for specific nutrients from the very moment they open their eyes. And one of the most powerful sources of those critical nutrients is something that's been sitting in their refrigerator their entire adult life: whole eggs. I know eggs got a terrible reputation in the past. All those cholesterol warnings, outdated scientific studies, and unfounded fears that stuck around way too long. But let me make this crystal clear. If you're a man over 60 and you're not eating whole eggs on a regular basis, you're missing out on one of nature's most effective tools for restoring blood flow and strength to your lower body. The real magic happens in the yolk. That rich golden center is absolutely loaded with vitamin D, B12, choline, and leucine, which is a powerful amino acid that triggers muscle repair throughout your body, including those deep, often forgotten muscles in your pelvic floor. These are exactly the same muscles that support strong erections, help control your urinary flow, and keep you feeling steady and balanced as you move through your day. When blood flow starts slowing down with age, these muscles are among the very first to suffer the consequences. But when you feed them properly, especially first thing in the morning when your body is most receptive, your system responds in remarkable ways. You start feeling more stable on your feet. You notice fewer muscle cramps or that annoying numbness. And yes, you begin feeling much more confident during intimate moments. Not because you're taking some pill with side effects, but because your blood is actually flowing properly again.
If you think this sounds too good to be true, let me share Marcus's story with you. Marcus came to see me when he was 67 years old, and he was completely discouraged. He looked me straight in the eye with the voice of someone who had completely given up and said, "Dr. Claire, it's been over 2 years now. The factory has shut down completely. I wake up every morning and absolutely nothing happens down there." He was completely convinced that age had won the battle. I told him exactly what I'm telling you right now. I said, "Marcus, I want you to forget about everything else for a while. For the next 4 weeks, I want you to start every single day with 2 whole eggs. Doesn't matter if they're boiled, scrambled, or prepared any other way. Just make sure you start with them every morning."
He almost started laughing right in my face. You could tell by his expression that he thought this was complete nonsense. But less than a month later, my phone rang, and it was Marcus. His voice sounded completely different, like he had turned back into a young man. He was practically shouting with disbelief when he said, "Doc, I have no idea what you did to me, but I woke up this morning feeling like I'm 40 years old again."
But that wasn't the end of Marcus's story. His confidence came back so powerfully that he insisted on sending me a video to show me the dramatic difference in his whole attitude and energy level.
In that video, Marcus said, "Dr. Claire, I had to record this message for you. When you first told me about eating 2 whole eggs every single morning, I'll be completely honest with you. I was skeptical as hell. At 67 years old, I had completely given up. I felt totally washed out with 0 energy and just figured it was completely normal for everything to stop working at my age. But I stuck with your advice for a full month, and today I woke up feeling like I was 40 again. You cannot possibly imagine what that feels like. It's so much more than just the physical changes. It's the confidence coming back. It's feeling like a real man again. You gave me back something I was absolutely convinced was gone forever. Who would have thought the secret was sitting in my refrigerator this whole time? From the very bottom of my heart, thank you.
Now let's talk about the second food, oatmeal with chia seeds, which I call the artery cleaner.
Every single time I see an older man in my office who's complaining about poor circulation, weak erections, or that constant heavy, tired feeling in his lower body, I don't just ask him about what medications he's taking. The first thing I ask about is what he's eating for breakfast. And far too often the answer is either that breakfast doesn't exist at all, or it's completely loaded with sugar and empty carbohydrates that are actually making the problem worse. What I recommend instead might seem way too simple to actually matter. But trust me when I tell you that a warm bowl of oatmeal mixed with chia seeds has literally transformed more men's lives than you could possibly imagine. Oatmeal by itself is already a powerful ally for aging arteries. It's packed full of a special type of fiber called beta-glucan, which doesn't just help lower your cholesterol levels, but actually cleans the walls of your blood vessels from the inside out. This allows much more oxygen-rich blood to reach all the critical areas of your body, including your pelvis and groin region. For men over 60, this kind of targeted circulation support isn't just helpful, it's absolutely essential for maintaining vitality.
Now, when you add chia seeds to that oatmeal, something truly incredible starts happening in your body. These tiny little seeds are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and potassium. These are exactly the nutrients that help your blood vessels relax completely, reduce harmful inflammation throughout the system, and allow much smoother, stronger blood flow than every supplement. This powerful combination isn't just good for your heart health. It directly impacts your ability to achieve and maintain healthy, strong erections. I'll never forget this gentleman named David who told me that his body had basically started shutting down completely after he retired. He was dealing with low energy all day long, trouble just climbing a flight of stairs, and his intimacy with his wife was practically non-existent. I convinced him to swap out his sugary breakfast cereal for a warm bowl of oatmeal mixed with chia seeds, fresh blueberries, and just a pinch of cinnamon. Within just 2 weeks, David told me his legs felt so much lighter throughout the day. After a full month, he was sleeping much better and waking up with more energy than he'd had in years, with benefits he was noticing both in and out of the bedroom. He called me up laughing and said, "Doc, I never would have believed that a simple bowl of oatmeal could do all this for me." The truth is that what you choose to eat in those first critical morning hours sets the entire tone for your blood flow throughout the rest of the day. This simple combination of warm, mindful food sends a signal to your arteries that it's safe to open up completely. It's time to properly nourish all the muscles and nerves that make you feel like a strong, vital man. Before we move on to the third food, I'd love for you to tell me which city and country you're watching this from. I really enjoy making that personal connection with all of you. Now let's move to the third food, watermelon, which I like to call the bedroom fruit. I still clearly remember the look on my friend Robert's face when I told him he should start eating watermelon first thing in the morning. He burst out laughing and said, "Doc, I always thought that was just a refreshing summer snack for picnics." But what Robert didn't know, and what most men have no idea about, is that watermelon is actually one of nature's most underrated and powerful tools for restoring blood flow, especially to the places where it matters most for masculine vitality. Watermelon is absolutely packed with an amino acid called L-citrulline. Once this gets into your system, your body converts it into L-arginine, which then boosts your nitric oxide levels. Nitric oxide is exactly the same compound that opens up your blood vessels and allows much more blood to reach your groin area. It's the exact same biological pathway that those popular erectile dysfunction drugs use, except this time you're fueling that pathway with real food instead of synthetic pharmaceuticals. And this approach works incredibly fast. I've had countless patients tell me they started noticing much greater sensitivity and significantly stronger morning erections within just 1 week of adding watermelon to their daily routine. There's something truly powerful about letting your body do exactly what it was naturally designed to do, without relying on synthetic pills, without dealing with dangerous side effects. Just pure, natural circulation support coming straight from your breakfast plate. Robert called me exactly 2 weeks later and said, "I honestly don't know if it's the watermelon or just the fact that I'm finally eating a real breakfast every morning, but something is definitely waking up down there." We both had a good laugh about it, but the truth is, he wasn't imagining anything. The citrulline was doing exactly what it's supposed to do, opening up his blood vessels and giving his entire lower body a completely new sense of vitality and life. For the best possible results, eat your watermelon on a completely empty stomach, or just before you have your main breakfast. A couple of fresh slices are more than enough to get the job done.
And here's a tip that might surprise you. Don't throw away that white rind. That part of the watermelon actually contains the highest concentration of citrulline. You can blend it into a smoothie or just chew on it lightly. It might not taste as sweet as the red flesh, but your circulation system will definitely thank you for it.
If you've been searching for a completely natural way to feel more alive and energized in your intimate areas, watermelon might be one of the easiest and most refreshing tools you've been completely overlooking all this time. The fourth food is steamed sweet potato with Celtic salt, which I call the circulation stabilizer. Of all the recommendations I've given to men over the years, this is the one that gets the most surprised and confused reactions.
Sweet potatoes for better circulation? Really? But once you truly understand how your body actually works in those first critical minutes after you wake up, it starts making perfect sense. Your muscles, including all the muscles in your legs, pelvis, and yes, even the muscles in your penis, are basically operating in a complete vacuum after going hours and hours without any food. Your blood vessels desperately need minerals to function properly. Your muscles are crying out for glycogen to give them energy, and your entire nervous system needs balance to operate the way it should. Just half of a steamed sweet potato sprinkled with a tiny pinch of unrefined Celtic sea salt can be the morning stabilizer that your entire lower body has been desperately craving without you even knowing it. Sweet potatoes are absolutely packed with complex carbohydrates that won't spike your blood sugar levels through the roof, but will give your muscles exactly the clean, steady energy they need to function smoothly throughout the day. And when you add that Celtic salt, which is an unrefined salt loaded with over 80 essential minerals, you're giving your body all the tools it needs to retain water properly, regulate nerve impulses effectively, and maintain healthy blood pressure without experiencing any crashes later. These minerals are crucial for proper muscle contractions, optimal circulation, and maintaining nerve sensitivity, which naturally starts to fade with age if we're not paying attention and taking care of ourselves properly.
I had a patient named James who was 70 years old when he came to see me. He told me he was waking up every morning with heavy, completely numb legs and this ridiculous ache in his groin area that just wouldn't go away.
He had already tried stretching routines, massage therapy, and even some prescribed medications from other doctors. Absolutely nothing seemed to help him feel any better. I suggested what seemed like a very small change to his routine. Before eating his usual breakfast, I wanted him to try eating half of a steamed sweet potato along with a glass of warm water and just a touch of mineral salt.
He honestly thought it was way too simple to possibly work, but just 3 days later he called me up and said, "Doc, I have no idea what's happening, but my legs feel so much lighter, and I'm not grabbing onto the nightstand just to get myself out of bed anymore."
There's something genuinely comforting about starting your day with real whole food, something your body actually recognizes and knows how to use properly, something that doesn't just mask symptoms temporarily, but actually restores balance and vitality from the inside out. Sweet potatoes might seem like a humble, ordinary food, but when you eat them the right way at the right time, they work quietly and powerfully to restore proper circulation, balance your essential minerals, and energize every single step you take throughout the day.
Now let's talk about what you need to do today, starting right now. If you've made it this far into the video, that already tells me something really important about you.
You actually care about your health and vitality. You're not just coasting through this stage of your life, letting your body do whatever it wants while you sit back and accept decline as inevitable. You're still willing to fight for your health and your quality of life. The good news is that you now have real, practical tools that actually work. But having tools means absolutely nothing if you just leave them sitting in the toolbox unused. Real, lasting change only starts when you make the decision to take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today.
I want you to start small so you don't get overwhelmed. Tomorrow morning, I want you to commit to eating just one of the 5 foods we've talked about in this video.
Maybe it's 2 whole eggs with the yolks intact. Maybe it's a warm, comforting bowl of oatmeal mixed with chia seeds and a sprinkle of cinnamon. You don't need to be perfect right from the start. You just need to begin. What you choose to eat in that first hour after waking up is honestly one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your circulation, your confidence, and your independence as a man. No more skipping breakfast entirely. No more waiting around until you're absolutely starving, exhausted, or already running behind schedule for the day. Give your body exactly what it needs when it's asking for it most. This is the precise moment when your blood vessels are most receptive to nutrients. This is when your muscles are ready and waiting to take in everything they need to function properly. And when you can finally break that cycle of gradual decline and start rebuilding what time has been trying to take away from you.
You might not notice dramatic, life-changing results overnight, and that's completely normal. But if you stay consistent with this approach, in just a few days you could start feeling much more energy in your legs, more warmth and circulation in your groin area, more strength and confidence in every step you take, and much better response where it matters most for your intimate life.
You could find yourself sleeping much better at night and waking up feeling something you might not have felt in a very long time. Genuine hope for your future vitality and health. If you're sitting there worried that it might be too late for you to see any real changes, I can tell you with complete honesty and decades of experience that it's absolutely not too late.
I have personally seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even their late 80s completely transform their energy levels, their intimacy with their partners, and their overall sense of vitality by simply committing to this one fundamental thing, actually starting and then sticking with it.
So the question you need to answer right now is very simple. Will you take that crucial first step tomorrow morning when you wake up? Or will you let another day pass by, waiting for something to magically change on its own without any effort from you? If there's one thing I've learned after decades of working specifically with older men, it's that aging itself doesn't steal your strength and vitality. Aging only takes away what you're willing to surrender to it. And most of the time, what we end up surrendering isn't actually our physical bodies, but our belief that positive change is still possible at our age.
But I'm here today to remind you that change is absolutely still possible, no matter how old you are or how long you've been dealing with these problems.
You now know about 5 incredibly powerful morning foods: whole eggs, oatmeal with chia seeds, watermelon, and sweet potatoes with Celtic salt. These foods can restore proper blood flow throughout your body, improve muscle sensitivity where you need it most, and bring real life back to parts of your body that might have felt distant or disconnected for way too long. These aren't trendy fads or marketing gimmicks that will be forgotten next year. These are real, whole foods that speak directly to your biology and give your body exactly what it needs to function the way it's supposed to. You also understand exactly when and how to eat these foods for maximum impact and results. You recognize that how you choose to spend that first precious hour after waking up sets the tone for absolutely everything else that follows. your vitality throughout the day, your confidence in yourself, and even the quality of your relationships with the people you care about most.
You don't need to change everything about your life overnight. That's not realistic and it's not necessary. Just start with something small and build from there. Take back control of your mornings. Let your food work for you, turning every single bite into a powerful statement that you're still actively writing your story and you're not done living life to the fullest.
This isn't the end of anything. Far from it. Your next chapter starts at the breakfast table and begins with your personal decision to actually try these recommendations.
If this video opened your eyes in any way or gave you hope that positive change is still possible, please do me a favor. Click that like button so more men like you can find this important message and share it with a friend, a brother, a father, or anyone else in your life who needs to hear this information. And of course, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more straightforward, no-nonsense health tips like what we've covered today. Now I want to hear directly from you. If you found this content valuable and helpful, type the number 1 in the comments below. If it didn't resonate with you or if you feel like something was missing, type 0 and tell me how I can serve you better in future videos. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me until the end. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.